Hi everyone, Graham here with the latest updates from We Share Abundance. We Share Abundance is a cloud nation. We're an emerging nation. We are the United States of the world and we're on a mission to banish poverty. We've been around a little over 5 years, putting in solid foundations to be here for many generations to come. And we're now expanding our economy to improve the liquidity and value of our currency and benefit all our citizens. All our citizens hold our currency because we give it to them free every month. And anybody can become a citizen. There's no fee, there's no obligation. You come along, register, prove you're a real person, and that's all there is to it. There are lots of things that you can choose to get involved in, but they are totally at your discretion, your option, okay? No pressure. We're also a non-separatist organization. And that means we don't pigeonhole people into little groups based on what they look like, where they come from, what the gender is, or anything else. We simply see everybody as a human being, part of one big family of humanity, all linked together, all individually unique, all having something unique to offer our community, and all of equal value to our community. We have a little affirmation in a moment that helps us with that ideology, shedding any prejudices we may have picked up along the way. But before that affirmation, we'll have a very short prayer to help us find true happiness in life. We're not talking about short-term pleasure that comes and goes. You get the new car and you're happy, and after a while it's just a car and you want another new car, a different one, a bigger one, or one with leather, whatever. We're talking about that peace that is always with you, that harmony with the world, that happiness that cannot be destroyed. It's just there, ever new joy. And you can't buy that. It comes from loving service to other people. And that's the only way you can get it. The great thing about being of loving service to others is that it attracts into your life everything that you want and need. You no longer have to worry about how you're going to have that relationship or improve it or find the money to do this or that or travel the world or whatever it may be you want to do. It'll all start happening for you the more you get involved in being of loving service to others. So that's what our little prayer and our affirmation are about, and we'll get to those in just a second. But first, let me welcome you, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the recording. All of these are recorded, or should be. I think they are for the most part. And you'll find the replays or recordings, whatever you want to call them, in YouTube and Facebook. Going all the way back to when we first started 5 years ago. I think we've only missed about 4 days, 3 or 4 days in over 5 years. So it's all there as a track record for everything that's happened in the course of creating this new nation. You're equally welcome, whether you're watching the replays or whether you are watching live. Of course, if you're watching live, it's lovely if people can pop in their name and where they're from in the comments, in the chat section. That helps people see that we are truly global and we're here to serve people all over the world. Of course, if you're here live, you can also pop any questions you may have in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them for you. I see we've got a few people in today already. Let me have a quick look. We've got Lewis in from Portugal, got Werner in from South Africa. We've got Don in from, somebody just disappeared as well. I don't know who it was, but we've got Don in from Vancouver Island, British Columbia. It was Richard that disappeared and he's back again. From Devon in England, we've got Maya in from the southeast of England. We've got Eric in from Quebec watching the streaming. We've got Ramachandra in from Watford in England watching the streaming. Ron from Holland, Amsterdam in Holland. Deborah from Southern Alabama, USA. Yakubu from Nigeria. Bozina from Slovenia. So we've got quite a few people in now, but let's get started right away with that little prayer and then the affirmation. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so happy and grateful for you, and we ask that you bless the We Share Abundance community, that it may fill each member's heart with unconditional love, and that through that love bless each member, that they may find the joy of service, and through service attract true happiness and everything they want and need into their life. Amen. Now, a little affirmation. We're so happy and grateful to be citizens of the United States of the world with God and truth as our leaders. Heavenly Father, may thy kingdom of peace come into our world as it is in heaven, and free us all from divisive inharmony, that we may become perfect citizens in body, mind and soul of thy world. Okay. Right, what's been happening today? Quite a lot. We have people making withdrawals, and we have people attempting to make withdrawals, and we don't know what the difference is, except that some of them aren't going through. We don't know why. We have tried to reset people's accounts so that they can make the withdrawal again. And the same thing happens. It doesn't go through and they get stuck in a pending situation. And we won't be able to address that fully until next week when Devyani is back. So for those of you that have a pending transaction, pending withdrawal, I'm sorry, but we won't get it fixed till next week. And the way we're going to fix it is we're going to ask you to make a withdrawal on a screen share with Devyani and open up the coding so that she can watch the coding and watch what's going on, and find out why some of you are having difficulty and it's not going through. And then we can correct it for everybody. A lot of people, as I say, a lot of people are making withdrawals and it's going through no problem. And in fact, I've tested it on 2 occasions today from different accounts. No issue. It's just gone within seconds, gone into MetaMask, and I've brought money back, and within seconds it's come from MetaMask into We Share Abundance. So it's very difficult when we can't replicate the error, and that is why next week when Devyani is here, she's going to get in contact with people, going to ask you to make a withdrawal while she'll tell you how to open up a page of your browser that will show all the coding and what's going on, and then she can watch what's going on and see what happens and why it doesn't go through for some people. And so hopefully we'll get everybody sorted out and paid next week that can't get paid this week. If you want a withdrawal, go ahead and try it. As I say, for us, when we test it, it is working, and we've seen a lot of withdrawals going through, no problem. But some people, it doesn't work for, and we don't know why. So we have to get to the bottom of it. And until we do, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to put up with it as it is. It's okay for some people, and it's not for others. We will, through what I've just described, find out what the reason is and get it sorted out so that going forward we're okay. There are other things that we've had. We've had some of our cron jobs taking up massive space, which isn't a problem because we've got the space, but they impact some of the other things that are going on while they're taking up the space. For example, you do your KYC verification, and we get a message back from Shufti Pro, who do the verifications. It's all done on their site. But because we've got all this stuff going on in the background, it bounces back to Shufti Pro. Now, it's no real big deal because they keep sending until it connects. But it should be happening straight away, and it isn't, and it's frustrating for some of our members. And it's frustrating for the support team because they can't do much about it. Well, we can. if it's gone through and it's not showing, we can check in Shufti Pro to make sure that it has gone through correctly there, in case there was a fault in their system, which we've not found so far, but I mean, it would be possible. And then we can manually make the change. Now, some of the times when we're getting people saying it's not gone through, when we go to manually make the change, we see it has gone through. So there are instances where possibly you need to log out of your account and log back in again, and it will show up. It may not show up immediately if you don't do that. Okay. The other thing, of course, is KYC. Why do you need it? And you don't need it for anything other than making a withdrawal. If you're not KYC verified, you're not allowed to make a withdrawal. So if you're not in the position where you need to make a withdrawal and you're struggling and things, you can do everything else. You can get involved in the programs and everything else, and you can do your KYC, and there's no panic until you do want to make a withdrawal, and then you will need to have that KYC done. Let me have a look and see if we've got any more people in. We had Deborah, Yakubu, Werner, Bozina from Slovenia, Richard from Devon. We got Bozina in from Edinburgh in Scotland as well. And we got Derek from Wado City, Nigeria, Peter from Cameroon, Norman from Colorado. Hi there, Norman. Nice to see you. Richard says the sound isn't very good. You're the only one that has mentioned it, Richard. It should be okay. It's the normal settings and everything else. So I don't know. Derek says, in the new share hybrid plan, how much do we make per referral? $4 per $12 payment. You make 33%. If they pay $130, you make whatever it is, $47 roughly, isn't it? And we got Nankiep in from Nigeria, and Lewis says the sound's okay here. Thank you, Lewis. Yeah, it should be okay, Richard. I don't know why, but it must be local, I think, to you, your system. Right. So that's stuff on the withdrawals. We are getting queries constantly on withdrawals and Multiply Weezer, and when you go to the support desk, there is a knowledge base, and if you read the knowledge base, it may save you having to put in a ticket. Okay. And we got Pierre in from South Africa as well. Pierre Schultz. Hi there. Right. We had a Success Blueprint presentation, webinar, whatever you want to call them, at 10 a.m. today. But we're not getting people, new people particularly, on them. So I'm going to stop doing it that way. And what I have changed it to is we want people to put in a support request for a one-on-one call, and we'll get back to everybody individually and answer any questions they may have. And there is, when they log in, if they look at the knowledge base in the support desk, all we really need from them is a window when we can contact them, and we'll find a mutually convenient time so that we can have a little chat and get everything sorted out and all the questions answered. So there won't be any more calls, particularly at scheduled times, Monday Wednesday, Friday and Saturday. Everybody that wants to have a call, put in a support ticket and get your questions answered in that way. It is a little bit more like the system they use in Vibe, where people get on a three-way call. Doesn't need to be three-way, but it can be. If you want to do it that way, you can arrange for your referral to put in a support ticket, and you can get the link for the call as well. So it can be three-way if you want it to be. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't matter whether they are in whose downline they're in, who referred them. We'll answer any questions for anybody, and we'll do it in that way. So that is a little change in the system there. We've done a lot on ShareHub. We are pretty close to getting everything opened up for you, and we may be able to get it done tomorrow, although we've been working on that callback issue through the cron job that I mentioned earlier on. But I'll be talking with Vishal tomorrow, and we'll see if we can just make that switch over and get it switched over into the new side. It may not all be there, but I think you'll find there's more there anyway than you had, or you'll be able to understand it better anyway than in the old system. And it'll mean that people that you're referring now won't go into the old system and join, and then we migrate them over. It'll mean that it'll all be done automatically in the new system. So that is a good bit of progress in there today. I'm just going to have a quick look and see, because Vishal's been working on quite a lot. He's a blessing to us, really. He completed the old deposit history, migrated from old ShareHub to new, added list of deposit history on the deposit fund page, working on withdrawal to WeShare Abundance account. Okay, that's what he's doing at the moment, is the automated withdrawals to your WeShare Abundance available cash wallet. That will pretty much wrap up most of the things that need doing, not all of them, but certainly it will give you a working environment, and we can add things in as we go, and it'll be more consistent. So I'm hoping we can get it done tomorrow. If not, I'm going to really push for Friday. So we should have you in that new system this week. We should have. It's not a promise, okay? I've learned that you can't promise anything connected with software development. Okay, but we'll do what we can for that. Yesterday, I forgot to mention, I did make some changes to the bundle page of the website. I edited the video a little bit. I think it's a little bit better now, and I also added some information on the page that should have been there and wasn't, and so that bundle page is more effective now than it was. The 777 plan, I have now recorded the video, but I've not edited it. I only got the recording finished a short while before I was due here. So it'll take me probably an hour or maybe more to edit that and get it down as well as I can. But I think it does describe the plan fairly well. I have created the new spreadsheet, and that seems to be working okay. When I was recording, I did find errors, not major errors. They don't affect the actual cash amounts, if you like, but some of the pass-ups were shown as incorrect, and so I wanted to make it as right as we could. So it meant stopping the video and changing the PowerPoint, and then getting back and starting recording again, and it's just a little bit messy, but we got there. And as I say, I've got it recorded now, so I have to go through, edit it. If all goes well, I'll get it edited within an hour or a little over, and then it'll be up on the 777 page, and that will be something else that we've got completed. And I think from an updates point of view, that is pretty much it. Yesterday the weather was dreadful here, if you don't like wind and rain, but today it's been back to a beautiful day. Still a cool wind, but it's not viciously strong wind like it was, and it's been a really nice sunny day here today. So I hope it's a beautiful day for you wherever you are. I can't see any questions coming in. If there are any questions, get them in now, because if not, we can close this session for today. And of course, I will be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. On YouTube, Facebook, and streaming on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, we're all live here in our link. Those of you that choose to get in here. It's nice when you get in here, and it's nice when you have your videos on. People can see real people. So it's all part of life's rich pattern. There's no questions come in the chat. Once Devyani is back and we've got that withdrawal thing sorted out, there will be some changes that I want made in the back office of the Success Blueprint. Not the Success the Success Blueprint. Sorry, I'm getting confused a little bit here, because I think it's a little bit difficult to understand, and some of the information that you need isn't really easily to hand. And it may be something that Vishal can do better, actually. His design for the ShareHope plan, I think it is really good. So maybe we'll implement the same sort of structure into Devyani's programming for the Success Blueprint. But we certainly need to highlight some of the things there. You need to know how many personal referrals you have, because it's quite possible that you've got a full matrix, but you're not going to get paid anything if you don't have 3 personal referrals. So we need that to show up, you know. There are a few other things as well that we want to do in there. So if you find it a little bit difficult or a little bit confusing in your back office for Success Blueprint, we will be on it, and there may be some very minor changes in things in the way that it operates, but for the most part it'll be the same. Basically, you've got to build that 3927, and if you do that and you do it right, you'll never have to work again, and you'll never have money worries again, and you'll never lack for time to do whatever you want. It's worth putting a little bit of effort into. I know a lot of you would like to have all the benefits, but I know a lot of you won't do what it takes to have the benefits. And that is the difference between the successful people and the people that don't seem to make any progress. The successful people do whatever it takes, regardless, and don't say, oh, I don't want to do that, or I can't do that, or, you know, they don't make the excuses. They say, okay, if that's what needs to be done, I'm going to do it. And if you view the success blueprint as though you'd bought a McDonald's franchise and spent $2 million, would you then say, oh, well, this is their book of how to run the franchise, but I'm going to throw that in the fire because I don't want to do it that way? Or would you follow the plan? I think if you spent a couple of $1 million, you would go through that franchise, how to run it and everything with a fine-tooth comb until you fully understood it and made it work. When you join the Success Blueprint, you pay $12.50 and you say, oh, I can't be bothered doing it the way that they say. I'll just see if it works or not. And of course, it's not going to, because you need to do whatever it takes. So treat it as though you spent a couple of million on a McDonald's franchise. Treat it that way. Get the information and do what it says. Follow the plan. Do what it says. Do whatever it takes. And you will never look back. And, you know, a McDonald's franchise, they pay $2 million. And after they've got their costs back, which usually takes them about 8 to 8.5 years, they are then passively making anything like, you know, up to $500,000 a year. Now you, with the Success Blueprint, can be making $500,000 a year in 3 months for a cost of $12.50. Treat it as though it was a McDonald's franchise and you'd spent $2 million and you'll succeed. Treat it as a $12.50, well, I'll give it a go and see what happens. And you might as well flush your $12.50 down the toilet. Okay, I'll see you all tomorrow, because there's nobody with any questions, but there is somebody else. Or is there a question? I think there is. Are there videos about funding available cash wallet? Yeah. If you go to the main website and you hit on the link that says help, I think it says help. Let me just check. I think it just says help. Help and support. If you click on that link and then you click on WSA help and training, you will find videos in there that that explain how to fund your wallet. So thank you for that question, because a lot of people maybe don't know that, but you have got resources in there, not an awful lot, but then again, if you only want to fund your wallet, that resource is in there. Okay. So thanks for your question, Norman. I know a lot of other people will appreciate that. That's it, folks. We're done for the day. We will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. London time, streaming in YouTube, streaming on Facebook, and of course in our link. God bless.